My name's DJ Quest. I'm a DJ, turntablist, producer, sometimes MC, etc, etc. I'm most known for winning the UK DMC Championship in 2003, London DMC Championship, came third in the world that year, in the Southeast Mixing Championships. So yeah, that's it really. At the moment I'm more doing sound engineering and production, and doing a little bit of ghost writing as well, but we won't talk about it. My first moment that I fell in love with scratching mainly, and production secondly, was DJ Premier, the first Gangstar album. Well, not the first one, the officially known as first Gangstar album. What's it called? Step in the Arena. There was one called, I can't remember what it's called. No, the very first one. But anyway, yeah, that from the first album, I just really liked the scratches on it. They weren't that technical, but they were just really soulful. He picked the right sound and do exactly the right thing with it. And I was like, I'd heard scratching before and I kind of liked it, but he really turned it into something, into like a musical instrument at that time, the first time. And from there, I just wanted to get turntables and tried to copy what he was doing. Later on, I started watching a few like DMC battles, and I was like, wow, I didn't know it was like that. So I saw like the '97 United States Championships, and like DJ Craze and certain executioners were in that, and I was like, I thought I was good until I watched that. And then that was a whole different level, and then probably I didn't jump straight into doing competitions, but I started learning the techniques, and then I started competing properly in 2000 and sort of got a little sort of odd third place here and there from 2000 to 2002, and then that was it. 2003 came third in the World Championships, and normally people would come back and try and win, but I think I kind of reached that line at that point. All in all, I'd say DJ Craze really. I mean, I kind of chop and change what I'm into for different reasons. I mean, Cubert's like one of the best scratchers, and I think Executioners are the most entertaining and sort of all-round just really great crew. But I think Craze really excelled. I mean, I've gone through and watched a lot of his old videos recently, and I realised he was kind of like the most well-rounded DJ. He could do, you know, the really technical side of it. It would sound really good. He could do all the old school body tricks. He'd really sort of had all the techniques, but I mean, it wasn't really about that. It was just about the overall sets. Like when he won the US Championships in 1998, it was like the best thing I'd ever seen. It was just completely, I mean, there was other amazing DJs like from the Scratch Pickles in that battle, and he really did show a new level at that point. And even now, he still comes up with great routines, I mean, which people don't normally do. When they stop competing, the standard that you would do, even myself, would just really lower a lot, because you don't have the competition to drive you. And he still will do showcases with new material. I'm like, well, you could still win competitions with it, so. I think a lot of it's blanked out of my mind, or maybe there wasn't really, I didn't have anything else going on at the time, but I think because it's a competition, I think this might lie within the realms of nearly any competition that anyone would do. Is you've got to think there's always somebody out there who really is doing it all the time. Talent or no talent, if you do it 24/7, you're going to be good. So at the height, I mean, to be honest, not the year I won it, but maybe the previous 2 years, I'd do 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours in a day sometimes. In the last year, I kind of, you feel like you get to a point where it is just easier to learn stuff anyway, because you've been doing it so long. So I probably only did a few hours a day in the year that I was winning competitions. But previous to that, I do it all the time. And I did think that if I don't, somebody else is. Somebody else is doing it all the time, and it will show on the night. It will show on, so it really does take, I mean, it's a 6-minute routine, and it might, I think some of the best routines that I've ever done probably take people, I've heard other DJs say they do 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours a day for a full year. So, you know, you're condensing that many hours into 6 minutes. It is, I mean, I've gone through production, sound engineering, which is an incredibly scientific and technical process, and MCing and DJing and battle DJing is like the most difficult and masochistic sort of art form, because it is, you really do so much more work for such a small amount of time. But you know, when you play and the crowd go mad, you know, you get an intense buzz that you can't really get from anything else. So. Is there such thing as natural talent? I think there is a small, minute amount of natural talent in anyone's success, but I think the number one thing, and if you take anything away from today, whether it's turntablism or not, is if you want a goal, it's all about the belief and the intent. Like, if you say to yourself, I am, not even I'm going to be, I am the biggest or the best rapper in the world or the best producer, and if you follow that through for like, it might take 5 or 10 years, you will be. Anything, if you ever see a documentary by someone like Timbaland or something, or J-Lo, or some really massive artist, you'll find that it's not like natural talent that gets anyone where it is. It's the ultimate unforgiving belief that nothing will ever stop me getting to my goal. The main thing is I'm sort of trying to build two things: is playing, DJing a sound or a range of sounds that I'm really into, which I didn't really feel like I was doing around the time I stopped entering battles and started really getting into the DJing scene. I was playing stuff that I felt like people wanted to hear, and I didn't fully enjoy the experience. And nowadays I've really got a collection of music that I really passionately love, and I know that other people do, and I'm just, you know, trying to fuse what I like and make sure that everyone else does when I play, and trying to DJ out my own sound more, which I'm trying to make very different from what's out there. I'm also producing my own album, which I'm going to include lots of rappers, scratching. I'm even going to do a few lyrics myself on it, and I'm about halfway through that, so yeah. I work with a crew called Etchy Sounds, and we've gone through sort of doing like ultra pop sounding music, which is kind of contrary to what my album is, and a sort of new dubstep sound that's kind of similar to what's out there, but just fusing elements of older sounds into it. Just, you know, I just, whatever I do, I just want it to be recognizable and unique, so that if someone plays a track, they'll go, that's an Etchy Sounds track, that's a Quest track. You know, I think that's the marker of what I always liked in producers, like DJ Premier, for example. Throughout maybe 1994 till 2004, if you play a track and it's DJ Premier, you don't need to be told. You'll know it's, you know. I like to have a trademark sound, which I haven't totally got I haven't played in Bristol for a while, to be fair. I play more out of Bristol. I play in Europe a lot, just over like the summer. But I spend most of my time with my head down in the studio, really. But the Bristol sound's coming back up, I think. I mean, I mean, like in the sort of new scene, I don't know, you know, like Joker and things like that, and Jemmy, like I kind of know them guys a little bit now. And I really like the sound they're doing. It's different, and it's, you know, getting known around the world and stuff like that. And particularly, I said the dubstep scene, there's still a great hip-hop scene and really good MCs coming through. Even my cousin Duppy Beats has got some tracks that are getting rotational, like Radio 1 and stuff like that, with a MC called Ari. I can't remember the singer's name, and Ari's a really good MC. I remember sort of spotlighting him years ago on like, you know, you get random sort of hip-hop videos, you know, like just hip-hop ghetto videos, and he sort of stood out on there along with a few other guys from his crew, the label. So I think the Bristol sound's on its way back up. I think you have to have times where you're just going to lack a little bit of inspiration. I think we've gone through that. I think we've always made a mark, you know, in drum and bass you had Clips making a mark. We always make a mark, and then there'll be a point where sort of a couple of crews will come along. It's like buses, you know, 3 great acts will come along at one time. Yeah, I mean, that's similar to an earlier question which I didn't fully answer, because I answered it by saying the projects I was working on. My main goal really is, which I kind of kept under wraps, but I've had a lot of coffee today, so I'll just blurt it out basically. My main focus is obviously doing music that people will listen to and enjoy, but I really want to do the live show that I always wanted to do, which really fuses elements of DJing, turntablism, MCing, beats, production, samplers. I really wanted to go on stage with a massive PA system, loads of different equipment, keyboards, and entertain like in the classic style of bands, but with new school sounds, new school equipment. And I want to fuse a lot of turntablism into it, have a really massive opening. You know, even if I'm doing a really small club with like 50 people in it, I want the show to be like a show, and I kind of want to get out of doing DJ sets so much, and you know, I still want to do it, and I still really enjoy it, but I've got an ambition of, I've seen a lot of great acts do really great shows, and I've got ideas that I want to kind of put to the table, so just slowly building the individual pieces to that, just the arms and legs and stuff, and then I'm going to put a backbone onto it soon. Yeah.